Hi everyone and welcome to the video. In this video we're going to discuss slicing, which is a really fundamental part of the Python language. Slicing and indexing kind of go hand in hand, except there's one key difference. Indexing is used for basically accessing one item only, so you can access a single item from something like a list, string or a tuple. Slicing is for getting, I'll say n items, so multiple items here, so n can be any number. So indexing for one, or you use slicing for grabbing multiple items. And we're going to start with indexing, even though this is about slicing, and I guess you'll see why in a second. So if I say from places, give me the indices of 1 here, make sure I get that square bracket in. We're saying go into this list, this is index 0, this is index 1. So we're now saying give me whatever's at index 1, in this case it's USA. And then we go here. So indexing's simple because you just pass in a single number pertaining to what index you want. With slicing, however, we have the option of 3 different numbers, and that's where it gets a little more tricky. So the first number, if I do say 1, 4 like this here, the first number is always your starting number, so where you want to start taking elements from. And if you just pass in 2 numbers like this, it's basically saying give me everything from USA up until index 4. So if we run this, let's see what we get. USA, France, and Japan. So if I just take that just for a second and stick that, let's get that in line. That's basically what we've asked for here. We've said give me everything from 1 up until 4. Notice how it didn't include 4. So it's done 1, 2, 3, stop. So that's what happens if you just pass in 2 numbers like this. A few little shortcuts for this. If you omit the second number, this basically means give me everything from 1 up until the end. There's a nice way, because otherwise you've got to figure out how long this is and put the last number in. Just omit that number and just do 1, just means 1 till the end. The flip side is also true. If I bring back that 4 for a second and omit the first number, this means give me everything up until index 4. So this will give you everything from 0, 1, 2, 3, stop. And there we have it, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, the third number, which is what we call this our step. So say, for example, you wanted just England, France, Mexico, and that's it. So say you want to step over certain elements along the way. You can do that. Let's pass in 1 to 5 first. USA, France, Japan, and Mexico. So we're going from USA, France, Japan, and Mexico. So these guys here. What we'll do now is do :2. So now we're accessing the same range of places here, except we're not going to have every single one. We're going to skip over them as we move, and we're going to skip by 2 places. So this time we just get USA and Japan. So the 1 and 5 means basically give me 1, 2, 3, 4 and stop. So it's USA, France, Japan and Mexico. But the 2 here basically means USA and Japan. So you're basically skipping over the France and the Mexico from this. So that's what happens if you put the second one in here. If you want to be a bit more fancy as well, what you can do is omit the second number. Let's see what this does. This means basically from USA to the end, but skipping out. If you miss out this one, this means from the start to the end, but give me every other item. Just like that here. So this time we've gone England, so missed out USA, France, miss out Japan, include Mexico, and then miss out China. This also brings me on to one of the coolest things I think you can do with slicing is reverse something. So if we say reverse, let's do reverse place here. Places, so from the start to the end in negative steps. And what this does, this just means step backwards, which is pretty neat. Get that in here, reverse place, and there we have it. So it's now been reversed. So just to finish off, indexing is accessing a single item from a structure, such as a list or a string. Slicing is when we use a starting number, a stopping number, and an interval or a step to access a range of things from, be it a list or a string or a tuple.